Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted, to address whatever topics you might like to discuss, whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. You can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families, dating and relationships, whatever's in your heart, whatever's in your mind. God is concerned about that which concerns you. So we are here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, brought to you by Fiji Water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural artesian aquifer where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery. And you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is Earth's finest water. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app, at New Life Delaware, we thank you for your support and your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here to address whatever topics you might like to discuss, whatever issues of life you find challenging or difficult to navigate. You can call or text every day on the T-Mobile caller text line at 267-992-1424. We will respond to whatever topics you might like to discuss, whatever issues of life you find challenging or difficult to navigate, right here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. And before I get into the broadcast, I just want to remind all of our listeners and viewers, we have received a significant amount of communication regarding topics you would like to discuss with Rebecca Buva, licensed and registered dietitian and nutritionist, who will be with us, as always, the first Thursday of every month. She'll be here this Thursday, this coming Thursday. And we are going to address those communications. Of course, Becca, as always, will have a topic for us, and she will provide us with a recipe. So make certain that you continue to encourage your family, your friends, your coworkers, and colleagues to tune in from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. BeccaTheDietitian.com. Rebecca Buva will be here with us live in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast on Thursday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So I'm going to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you want a divorce after 25 years of marriage. You indicated that you are no longer compatible. However, there's no mental or physical abuse in the relationship. You're just no longer compatible. So let me first of all begin by saying this. What does that look like for you? What does that imply when you say you're no longer compatible? Does it mean that you just have different interests? Because you're indicating that there's no mental or physical abuse. So, but yet you're saying you're no longer compatible. And if you are saying that there are just different interests that each of you have, that doesn't mean that you should disrupt the quality of your lives because you feel like your interests are here and his interests are there. You have different interests because you're two different human beings. But you've built a good over 25 years, you've built a good quality of life. And right now, because we're in the midst of a pandemic, you're sitting and analyzing and overanalyzing what you don't like about your spouse, when in reality, there was nothing that you said in your communication that you didn't like about your spouse. You just indicated that you're not compatible. And so as I was prayerful about this, God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life. Your problem is COVID, just pure and simple. you have your own interest, your husband has his own interest, but you still have a great quality of life. You want to do certain things that he's not interested in doing. He wants to do certain things that you're not interested in doing. And because neither of you are interested in doing those things, you just have separate interests. But you've built a life together. You have to ask yourself, why would you be willing to disrupt your quality of life just because you both have different interests? And then you have to really sit down and stop analyzing the different interests that you have. And you first have to decide, are there some interests that you can take up together? And if there are, then do them together. If you don't have any interest at all in doing what the other one is interested in doing, then what you have to really decide is it in your best interest to get a divorce? What does divorce look like for you? You know, I think often, and we know there's a high rate of divorce in America, but we often look at divorce as a way of just making change. And, you know, I'm never going to encourage someone just to disrupt for the sake of disruption. Now, change is something we can do within ourselves and we can do within our household. And I gave an example of that by saying, if there's anything that either of you are interested in doing together, then do it together. Try it out together. But if you're not interested in anything that each other really enjoy doing, then do those things separately and come back to the quality of your life at the end of the day. Because you really need to sit down and look at what divorce would look like for you after the divorce. You know, what disruptions are going to occur in the quality of your life just for the sake of wanting change. I'm going to get a divorce after 25 years that I've invested in a life that I built with another individual who is not mentally or physically abusive, not doing crazy things, not running the streets, not ruining your lives. What would divorce really look like for you? And then if you just felt like for whatever reason, and I'm never going to encourage this, but, you know, because let's really examine what our lives would look like with imploding a quality of life that you've built together. But even after examining all of that, if you just feel you need to be alone, what's your exit strategy look like? What's the strategy of exiting and when you land where you're going? Or where the two of you are landing where you're going? You have to really think those things through. And I don't think that enough people look at those things. You know, divorce happens. I get it. People are mentally abusive. People are physically abusive. People are destructive. All of those things. That ends in divorce. However, we can reduce the divorce rate if we really stop and think about what are we searching for when we decide that we're going to get a divorce? Are you searching for peace because you have no peace? That's something different. Are you searching for the opportunity to take care of yourself because, you know, there's something mentally or physically abusive in the relationship? Well, those are different dynamics. But when you tell me that you want a divorce after 25 years just because you're no longer compatible, you are, and I'm here to tell you today, because God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life, that your challenge is you're dealing with the emotional effects of COVID. You're dealing with the psychological effect of COVID. You're looking at the fact that the two of you aren't able to really move around like you've normally moved around. You live your everyday lives and after almost a year, you're saying, I don't want to do this anymore. Well, COVID's going to end. The pandemic will be over. The coronavirus is not going anywhere. We are going to get vaccinations, and we're going to probably need, according to what I've been reading lately, we're probably going to need an annual vaccination just as we do the flu shot. Okay, so life goes back to normal. There will be some changes. That's why they call it a new norm, such as meetings are going to look different now. You know, the work environment's going to look different now because we did a lot of different things. So I really should explore all of this with you so you get a real clear picture. You will go back to the office again, even though you're working from home right now. The office environment will look different. We really came in close contact with people because we changed the work environment, put people in cubicles, not in cubicles, in workstations where people were in closer contact with one another. So some of the contagions were able to spread a little more easily, but we didn't expect a pandemic. Now it will go back to the way it once was, where people were sitting in offices along the wall and their assistants were sitting outside of the office and in a cubicle or at a desk, and we will change the environment again because something has provoked that. But that doesn't imply that you need to change your home structure because you are, like the rest of us, living in the midst of a pandemic. What you need to focus on is the quality of life that you've built and how it's going to continue to thrive as we come out of this pandemic and continue to live our lives. You say you're not compatible. You were compatible for the last 25 years. You say you're not compatible, and all that means is that your interests have either changed or you don't have the same interest in certain things. But you become more aware because we're in the midst of a pandemic. I'm going to say this to you: be still and know that God is God, and what God has for you is for you. And enjoy the quality of life that you've built, and don't disrupt it for the sake of disruption. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest nationwide 5G provider. If you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will place you into our queue so that you can become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest nationwide 5G provider, largest and fastest nationwide 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest nationwide 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are not feeling motivated and you want to know what you can do to find or to feel motivated once again, to find some motivation or feel motivated once again. So let me say this. Find your why. Let's talk about that for you and for all of our listeners and viewers. You have to find your why. Why do you get out of bed every single day? Why? And it can't just be as simple as I have to eat. Yes, if you don't work, you don't eat. So that's one motivating factor. But what is your why? Identify what you want to accomplish both personally, professionally, and purposely. What's your why? So there's three aspects of life. There's the personal, the professional, and the purpose. I'm going to really delve into this further at a much later time because I just had a revelation while I was speaking. You've got to find your why, and then you have to do your why. So you have to really say to yourself that every day I wake up and I breathe a new breath of life, I know that the day is going to be filled with new mercy, and I know that I have the potential to maximize the opportunities that are placed before me. I'm going to prepare for the opportunities, and I'm going to maximize my potential. So the first thing we have to do is find our why. Why do you do what you do to accomplish what you want to accomplish personally? What do you want to accomplish in your personal life that is going to fulfill you, not excite you, but fulfill you? You know, once you become fulfilled, you'll be excited about life. People look for excitement first, and they don't look for fulfillment because most people don't know their why. Most people don't know their purpose. Most people really don't understand the importance of seeking fulfillment. And I'm not talking about being excited about immediate gratification. There's a complete difference between fulfillment and immediate gratification. Many people think it's the same thing because they think when they satisfy and experience that immediate gratification that they'll be fulfilled. And the truth of the matter is that's never going to fill that hole. Fulfillment means that everything within you is complete. Now that doesn't mean we stop trying. That just means that we're at a place of peace, that we're fulfilled with what we are doing and what our why is. What is our why? So let me kind of walk us through that. Personally, again, what do you want to achieve every single day personally that's going to maximize the quality of life? What is it that's going to allow you to experience the fullness of God? Well, that's going to be personal, that's going to be professional, and that's going to be purposeful. So I've got to address my personal and professional life simultaneously, because what I do with my profession is going to build the quality of life personally, okay? And then the purpose. What am I living for every single day? What is I've talked to everyone about writing a 7-year plan. I've told everyone that, we are going to be writing a 14-year plan and a 21-year plan. Some of us are on a 28-year plan and a 35-year plan. And at the end of that, we'll be getting a little closer to the point where the Lord will be calling us home, okay? But here's the reality. If I had known this earlier, we'd be on a 42-year plan, if I had known this much earlier in life. But here's the reality. The reality is that your purpose is much further out. You have to have a bigger vision for your purpose, even once you identify it. The immediate short term is, what am I going to do to build a better quality of life personally? What am I going to do to enhance my professional career? And all of that is wrapped around your why, or all of that should be wrapped around your why. You have to, if you just seek your why, you're going to be more motivated every single day, because you're seeking to fulfill your short term, which is your personal. It's what you're living every day. Your midterm is going to be what you accomplish in your career. How do you build success in your career? Your purpose is your long term. So I'm giving you analogies to really map out a life of motivation. So every day we want to wake up inspired, and I've used the simple term over and over again. Every day we should wake up inspired to become the best version of ourselves that we can possibly become. That means every day we have to be better. Every day we have to work to be better. You know, here we are, the first day of the month, of a new month, that will, when we complete this month, we will have completed the first quarter of this year. We should know what we want to accomplish by the end of this first quarter. And we should work to that end. Now we have to put the push on because we literally have 31 days left to accomplish that. So what did you want to accomplish in this first quarter? Now, because you're just sending in this communication the last couple of weeks, here's what you need to know. You've got 31 days to really put the push on to accomplish what you want to accomplish in this first quarter. And then you have to determine what you want to accomplish the next 3 quarters of this year, so that we can really map out a course that's going to motivate you to accomplish the success you desire for this year, so we can experience the fullness of God this year. You see, the short term, as I said, is that you want to be the best you that you can be today, because that's the next step to becoming the best version of ourselves that we can possibly become. And that has to be a constant process. And we have to decide, how can we be the best professionally? How can we improve professionally? How can we enhance our career? What is my why for doing that? Not just so that my income continues to increase, but that I can gain the experience necessary to enhance every aspect of my life. So we want to work, listen to this, we want to work to be the best employee, manager, the best entrepreneur, the best executive, the best entrepreneur, the best business owner that we can possibly be. And how do we do that? So if you're an employee, you work every day to ensure that your work environment is improving every day. We work to make certain that our company is as strong as it can possibly become. That means we're doing our part. But then after that, we have to seek the next level. We have to work to keep rising. Life is motivation. Living life is motivation. We have to say, okay, it's a new month. Everything we've done, listen, everything we've done January and February, we were doing to get to this point. How much success did we accomplish in January? How much success did we accomplish in February? And now March is here, and we have to march on. We have to go to the next level. So everything is about getting to the next level. And when I say that, it has to be the next level in God. Because what we want is never going to maximize what God wants for us. That's reality. God has so much more expectation for us than we could ever have for ourselves. So we should be motivated by that. Yesterday in the Sunday sermon, I talked about the expected end that God has for us. He has a plan for us. He has, and it's of good and not of evil. And he has an expected end for us. So we should be working on that premise, and that should motivate us every single day. Find your why, personally, professionally, and purposely. And when you find your why, personally, professionally, and purposefully, you will be motivated every single day to keep moving. In him we live and move and have our being. you will keep moving and being motivated. And I'm going to ask you to shoot me an email at newlifepastor@comcast.net. Let me know what your motivation is, what's motivating you, what your why is. I'm going to pray over that, and we're going to continue to pray for you that God will manifest everything that you desire in your life according to his will. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. So if you're in any of those areas, check for their store hours, stop in at the retail stores. They have everything that a man could possibly need. I'm in Charles Tyrwhitt attire today. They have shirts for men, suits for men, shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. If you're not in any of those areas, you can order from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. And The White Company, located in London, the UK, they also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York. So if you're in New York, check for their store hours, stop in at their retail store. They have everything that you could possibly need: home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. If you're not in New York, you can order from The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you have a friend who, during the pandemic, you were able to spend time with because you both live in the same community and neither of you were out and about, so you both were tested and you feel comfortable being together. However, now he has started dating. Okay. So you want to know if you should still spend time with him because now he started dating. The problem isn't your concern about who he's dating. Let me respond by saying that. Because you know that he would not start dating someone that he didn't know was tested, first of all, and that he didn't know if they are moving around, if they're out and about, placing themselves in harm's way, for lack of a better term. The real problem is that you're concerned that he is dating someone else, and you're emotionally having an issue with him dating someone else. So let's keep it real and let's be honest, okay? You had a friendship, you developed a friendship before the pandemic began. The pandemic began, you two were able to spend time together, watching movies, just enjoying each other's company. Nothing went beyond that. You really just kept the friendship stable. What you realized when he told you that he started dating someone else, that he started dating someone, I should say, you realized that you had feelings for him that you didn't know existed. You didn't know because you haven't been intimately involved. You thought, well, we're just friends. Because, as we all know, intimacy changes the whole dynamic of a friendship. But now he told you, he just shared with you that he asked someone out on a date. They went out on a date. They enjoyed one another's company. He's taking her out on another date. Now you realize that you're really interested in. Make it real simple. Sit down with your friend and tell him the interest that you have. You're not going to be rejected. I'm just going to give you this completely because God allowed me to see in that secret place of his life. He went out with someone else because he never thought that you'd be interested. He thought you just wanted a friend. Sit down with him and explain to him what you're feeling right now. And you will be surprised by his response. He's going to stop dating the other person. He's going to tell her he has a friend that he would like to explore the relationship. The relationship will go where God wants it to go, but the two of you have to line that relationship